Hey, what's happening, homies? This is Mouse A Cougar here. Call me Matt if you'd like. And today, what I'm going to bring to you guys is just like the average guide on what a good build would look like on a pyramid head, and what kind of stuff is good on him and what isn't good on him, and basically like get a look over some of his add-ons in that too, and give you a little explanation of my build here. So, what I normally run for my build is barbecue and chili, whispers, I'm all ears, and corrupt intervention. Now, this build, the idea behind this build is whispers helps me like early game to like help you track someone, help you find someone, because since Pyramid Head doesn't have any map mobility, finding that first person to like chase and like get a down on is super important. Whispers helps you do that. Whispers is great on any killer in the game almost, but like on Pyramid Head specifically, like that's what's really good on him. That's why Whispers is so nice on him. It helps you find that first person, it helps you get that first down. And I run I'm all ears on him as well, because when honestly this just helps you go for like fun shots with your power and with like your M2, because like that's the thing with Pyramid Head's power. If you don't, let me just explain how Pyramid Head's power works. So basically his power is called Punishment of the Damned, which is you put your sword in the ground and you leave a trail. I actually think I can pull it up here. Character info. Punishment of the Damned. Rights of Judgment, pardon me. Hold the power button to activate, then move in any direction to carve a trail into the ground. Survivors who walk or run on the trail will trigger Killer Instinct and be affected with Torment. Survivors affected by Torment may be sent to a Cage of Atonement while they are in the dying state. Special attack. Punishment of the Damned. Press the attack button while Rights of Judgment is active to perform a Punishment of the Damned. So basically, like while you're holding like your mouse or like your L2. Oop, I went the wrong direction there. That's the cockslinger. And you get to drag your power in the ground, and you can just shoot it out. So then, like you can actually like deal like a whole health state of damage with it. It's actually like one of the strongest things about Pyramid Head's ability. And survivors. Let's keep going here with this. This unleashes a wave of force damaging any survivors in its path, like I explained. Like so, like you shoot your power, it goes off, like, and you can deal a whole health state of damage. Special ability is Cage of Atonement. This is like where my build like kind of comes into question, because I run barbecue and chili, which revolves around hooks. Press the activate ability button while standing over a dying survivor suffering from torment to send them to a Cage of Atonement. Survivors in a Cage of Atonement can be sacrificed as if they were on a hook. During the second phase of the summoning ritual, they will be forced to complete skill checks to hold off the entity. So that's pretty important, actually. It actually does come up because like sometimes like you'll be in like a scenario where you down a survivor and there's like 2 or 3 survivors around you. What you can do is, if that survivor that you just downed is tormented, you can immediately send them off into a cage, and like they'll go across the map and you're right back into a chase. That is why Pyramid Head is so strong in my opinion, because Pyramid Head has the ability to just delete hook states like they're almost nothing. Like he doesn't have to carry anybody, he doesn't have to do anything, he just sends the survivor off and he's right back in the game, like he's right in the chase again. And as well as like if I was being rescued or rescuing another survivor from a Cage of Atonement will remove their torment. So that's a way like survivors can like kind of play around like torment and that. And his other ability is Final Judgment. This is also another reason why Pyramid Head is so strong. Press the activate ability button when standing over a dying survivor suffering from the torment who has already reached struggle phase on a hook or in a cage to execute them. So basically, like if somebody's on death hook, you can just delete them from the game. As we call on our channel and like other channels, like the yeet, which is like basically like he gets like a really cool animation. It's basically like a Mori. He gets a free Mori if you're tormented. So like tormenting people is super important like when you're like Pyramid Head, because like it helps you maintain the pressure of like what Pyramid Head lacks in map mobility, he has in like his chase power and is a way to get hooks quickly. So like okay, so that's like one of the strengths of I'm all ears. And like so like when you see people like vault windows or like do fast actions, you can just like get your power ready and like get them down. You could get it down, you could get a health state. It's so good in like so many scenarios that it comes in. And you can even use it in loops too, like where you're like they're kind of looping you at like at a jungle gym. You can put your sword in the ground, you just walk around with it for a bit when you think they're about to drop the power, or if you like preemptively want to like shoot it off. What good Pyramid Heads will do myself, is a lot of good pyramid heads will just keep their sword in the ground to just keep the fear in the head of the survivor that, oh, he has his power here, he's going to use his attack. So like that's why pyramid head can be so strong in that example. And I run corrupt intervention on him because corrupt intervention is really strong at like just the early game. Since you're like trying to find that initial chase, you don't really want people to like be spread out on gens. Like I said, like the only real weakness that pyramid head has is his ability to not get around the map, because he is just a basic 115 killer. He has no map mobility whatsoever. He has to walk every single plate, which yeah, barbecue isn't that good on him for that reason. It just more or less tells you where people are or gives you where an idea to go. I feel like barbecue is a perk that you can use on anybody, and it's good, but it excels on killers that have like the map mobility and can get to places faster. But I basically run barbecue because like the grind in this game is so much sometimes. So like what a better build would actually be is something like this. You would run Infectious Fright over Barbecue and Chili. So then you have tracking, you have power in a chase, and like when you down someone, people scream off Infectious. You have Corrupt Intervention for the early game. If you don't want to do Corrupt Intervention, you could also do like Hex Ruin, because Pyramid Head, since he's so strong in the chase, he is just a natural at pushing people off gens. Like Pyramid Head is so strong when it comes to like getting up to people and like getting them to get off gens. So like it's really helpful in that scenario. So you have Whispers for early game tracking, and also Infectious Fright is insane on Pyramid Head. I don't run it that often because I'm trying to, like, I'm trying not to rely too much on Infectious, but like whatever I have run Infectious on Pyramid Head, it's actually like super insane, because you will down someone and then like you'll hear people scream off Infectious Fright. If that survivor's tormented, you immediately get to put him in a cage, and like you get in another chase again. There's nothing that those other survivors can do, and you can just like walk right up to them and like you just get back in a chase again. So that's why like this would probably be like the most optimal build on a Pyramid Head. I just really like barbecue because the grind in this game is so much sometimes that it's just extra helpful. And like I'm not a big Ruin fan either. I think Corrupt is perfectly fine. You can do Corrupt or Ruin, and like I feel like both would be acceptable. But like I feel like if you want like the most optimal pyramid, actually if you want the most optimal Pyramid Head build, you want to do like the Oats Darva build, which is let me pull that up here. You run Discordance, Tinkerer, and oh, there it is. Oh, wait, yeah, there it is. And then, yeah, you run Ruin Undying. This is, like, the build that Otts use, like, for, like, his 50-game win streak on him, which is insanely strong. Because not only do you have, like, Ruin to, like push people off gens, but you have, like, the backup for it. You can walk up to people on a gen. Like, you have, like, the extra tracking and, like, that as well, like, too. Like, you have Discords to tell you where people are at the beginning of the game. Just like, oh, 2 people are on this gen. We go up to them, and we pressure that gen. And then you have Tinker to tell you when a gen's about to be finished, so then you can push people off gens again. And again, like, you have Ruin Undying, so, like, that gives, like, survivors, like, a little extra slowdown. Because if, like, you're on a bigger map, like, there's a lot of times, like, where survivors will, like, just struggle with it. And some of Pyramid Head's best add-ons, honestly, ignore his Eerie add-ons and his, like, purple add-ons, because they're pretty less than spectacular. Obsidian Goblet is fun, and so is Eerie Seal of Metatron, but, like, you can't, like, you basically have to make, like, a build around them to, like, try and get value out of them. So you can't really, like, be as generic with them to, like, try and get value out of them. And, like, all his Eerie add-ons are just, I mean, not Eerie, his purple add-ons are less than stunning. What you really want to do is you want to get, like, Burning Man paintings, Mannequin Foot, and Tablet of Oppressor. And then, like, the subsequent add-ons. Like, basically, Burning Man painting is, like, your reach add-ons. Like, it gives you extra reach on your power. So, like, you can, like, get hits that you might not normally get with his power. And like it allows you to go for like a little bit more insane shots. Mannequin Foot is just how long your trails remain on the ground, which is important because you want survivors to get tormented. So like the more they're on the ground, the more likely that survivor will like walk into them and something will happen. And Tablet of Oppressor just gives you like more total time to perform like that Rites of Judgment can't be performed. This is when your sword is in the ground, and while you're like walking with it, like you can actually like hold it for like really long amount of time, and it allows you to like take your time and like line up shots, if you will, or like you could just be a sword in the ground Andy with it, and like it just lets you zone people a lot quicker. I use this add-on combo because I really do like to have the time to be able to predict, even though I'm like impatient myself. Like it's really nice to like have that ability. And like the subsequent add-ons that would be like the yellow one, you would have Cinderella Box, which is yellow tablet, or is it yellow mannequin foot? Yeah, that's yellow mannequin foot. Videotape is recharge, which is not tablet of oppressor. It's I really like the recharge add-ons too, because they work in the same vein as like tablet of oppressor, like where it gives you extra time. Well, it doesn't give you extra time. It lets you like have a little more fun and spam your shots, and like you'll get your power back quicker. Spearhead would be the one that's tablet of oppressor, and Wax Doll is range. And like the brown ones, you would have like Blackstrap, which is range, Copper Ring, which is tablet of oppressor, and then you would have Lead Ring, I believe, which is duration, which is yeah, that's mannequin foot. Sorry, it's just like I very rarely use like some of the like the brown ones, to be honest. So like I am pretty unfamiliar with it. So like this would probably be like the most effective way. The way if I wanted to be like the most effective with Pyramid Head, I would probably do Infectious Fright over I'm All Ears. But I really like going for shots. But that's me personally. And like yeah, I wouldn't really recommend barbecue. Like if you really want to use like do stuff. But like if you really like the grind, like if the grind for this game is too much for you, then yes, I would recommend barbecue and chili. So I would recommend Hex Ruin or Corruptor Intervention as opposed to like Pop Goes the Weasel, because like if you're not hooking people, like that's also the thing you gotta remember. Because survivor perks don't work as well, like with like the tormented cages. Like they don't get borrowed time, they don't get decisive strike activated, they don't get will make it. You can't deliverance out of a cage. It's the same thing with Pyramid Head. If you cage someone, you can't Pop Goes the Weasel a gem, which is pretty fair and understanding. So like I would not recommend really using Pop Goes the Weasel on him, because you're probably not going to get too much value out of it. So I would recommend like either run Hex Ruin or Corruptor Intervention. I lean towards Corruptor Intervention because I really like the like it really gives you that time at the beginning of the game. You never know like when your Ruin is going to pop. Corruptor Intervention is like dependable in my personal opinion. Sometimes you can get bad corrupt spawns, but that is to remain to be seen. But yeah, that is basically like my thing on Pyramid Head. There is like that he has a lot of perks. You can run Nurse's Call, like basically like generic perks that you can run. If you also want to be super effective, you can do Brutal Strength, because if you run into good survivors, like who will like here is the counterplay, quote unquote, to Pyramid Head. The counterplay to Pyramid Head is literally hold Shift W and pre-drop pallets. So then like he has to take the time to kick him. If you run into those survivors, Brutal Strength is gonna be so fucking nice on him. It's happened to me a few times, and even then like Brutal Strength is just a good perk either way. Sometimes I do I see what I did there. Sometimes I do as well run Brutal, like I'll do Brutal Strength over I'm All Ears, just because it's just like, you know what, Brutal Strength is just really nice. But you wouldn't really need a perk like Enduring on him, because like since you can hit through so many things, it's like never ever gonna come up really that often. Nurse's Calling is really good. This also comes into play like when you're like talking about like perks that are just generically good. Like Nurse's Calling is good. Tracking perks are good. Monitor and Abuse is also really good on him, because like you'll get, I feel like Monitor and Abuse is good on everybody also. Like you just cut down your terror radius like when you're not in a chase. So like you can do like Monitor and Abuse over that, and like kind of just like creep up on people. So like just remember that like generic perks are also really good on him, but I feel like the perks that I highlighted before, like Whispers, Discordance, Ruin Undying, Corrupt Intervention, I'm All Ears, Discordance, are like the perks that I feel like really shine on like Pyramid Head. And that's really gonna do it today for myself, guys. I hope that you take this, and if you want to play some Pyramid Head, I hope this is a guide that was a little bit helpful to you. I understand that I was a little all over the place. I didn't really write a script beforehand, but I had a lot of fun talking about Pyramid Head, and I really do enjoy playing Pyramid Head. Even though like he can be a little bit of an oppressive killer to go against, I feel like I like to have fun and go for shots with him. So like he's a little less boring, and Pyramid Head can like be fun to go against on the odd occasion if like you learn to get better with your shots and go for shots more often, which is something I really encourage you to do. Like, I don't really want you to be a sword to the ground Andy if you play Pyramid Head. Please, please, please try and have some fun with the killer and go for some fun shots. Even though you'll miss and like it might end up costing you the game, it's really, really fun like to try and go for those. And like when you hit them, it feels like the most rewarding thing on the planet. It's like hitting like a cross-map hunter's hatchet. But yeah, that's gonna really do it for me today. I again hope that you guys do really well and take this advice to heart, and like good luck out there in the fog. Thank you again.